So people might be asking, why aren't you doing this live? Why are you doing this as a recorded video? Why? Because I've never done this before. And if I do something stupid, you won't know. And this is Josh Got Bored. So today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the new Kingroon. However you pronounce it, 3D printer. This is a relatively small 3D printer. Was suggested by my friend Tanny because it's very reliable. Now this video today was sponsored by Shannon, my wife, who tolerates my existence. My birthday's next month, so she bought me a 3D printer. Very happy, totally awesome wife. I mean, awesome. So let's open up this thing as part of my very first unboxing video. Okay. Let's see what we got in here. Always fun. Ooh, a legit actual manual. That's nice. I'm really used to opening these and being like, cool, do I have anything? Ooh, and apparently it comes with tools. That's freaking cool. So this particular model is a really small one, so it doesn't have like a filament folder or your standard getup, so. Our generic sample of PLA. We got our power cable, our power supply. So it looks like this one is a pretty straightforward setup. You have your standard power port, your on-off switch, and just a basic plug-in for the 3D printer. So this will sit off to the side. Personally, I always prefer when it's something that's integrated. But honestly, I can always just like 3D print a riser for it or something. Or, you know, be practical and make it out of wood so it doesn't take a day or two. But why would I want to do that when I can take the long route? Okay, so we have the accessories kit. What do we got in here? Okay, we have a USB type cable. We've got 4 different sizes Allen wrenches, and a small little, brain, remember words for things, little wrench. We've got our very small Bowden tube, it's not bad. We've got a couple screws assorted. We have what looks like possibly a thumb drive of some sort. That looks like a micro USB on the end. Let's take a look at this. Just because now I'm curious. Yeah, so that's a micro SD card. Did I say USB? No. And 16 gig. That's actually fudge. That's nice. Okay. I'm assuming that comes off there. Okay, so it's a card reader. Nice. The first 3D printer I had, I actually had to buy a card reader because I did not have one. So it looks like we have a nozzle in here. What size nozzle is that? Because that opening looks insanely teeny. You know, you think I would have done more research before saying, hey, wifey, this is a totally awesome thing I would love for my birthday. But, you know. So it is a 0.4. Just really looks small. And then we have some sort of data cable thingy attached to it. With what looks like an LED. And it does not appear to be listed. Mystery parts. Nice. Ooh. And we have some safety shears. Ooh, flush cut shears. Oh my god. That is freaking beautiful. I actually had to pay for my last set, which I mysteriously lost. And it cost me like 25 bucks. Okay. Also, ooh, filament rollers. These are nice. So, like I said, this sucker doesn't come with an arm. Some people don't like the filament arms. I prefer them. So, yeah, no. Set of 2 filament holder. Nice. Okay. This looks like it's going to be interesting. So the arm is not attached physically. It looks like I'm bolting that in, but it is cabled in. Okay. Careful with that. I'm not sure what this 3D printed plug is for. Zero idea. We have our screw for our vertical. Another random bit of plastic. Really hoping that's not actually something important. Okay. Let's take out the padding. This is delightfully tiny. Oh, okay, now I figured out what that is. Do not destroy your new 3D printer, Josh. Okay, so I found another cap. I'm assuming that was to cap this off, yeah. Okay, so just our Z-screw. It is kind of neat that the caps were clearly made in-house. I don't know if you can see that detail, but it's definitely an FDM print. Pretty. Okay. So, if I tilt this up just a little, you can see it has a digital display. That I think is our screw. And ooh, nice. So, if we look, you can actually see the bed level has these big fat little gears on it, so that'll be easier to adjust. Okay. Step 1, insert that into that. So first, going to insert the print arm. Now, do I need to roll this? A little bit of plastic. Okay, let's just rotate so I can see a little bit better. Okay, so that point appears to be my Z stop. So it looks like there's this fun little screw right here that I can adjust the height of. That's neat. Okay. So, is that even far enough? Yeah, I want to roll that down just a little more so I can see that that is. So it looks like there's a little bit of swing. Oh, that is because there is an internal wire right there. So it appears that there are 2 little wires in here. I think I might have slightly damaged the sleeve on one, but it doesn't appear that I actually broke it. So when you're setting this up, apparently you do have to make sure that the wires in there are not in the way, because this is not a straight channel that this goes into apparently. It is an open body frame, so you do want to just double check that it's okay. However, it does have some steel grooves. Just double check that everything is lined up so it won't wiggle inside. Yeah, so that sits against that. Yeah, I will say one negative thing about this setup is there's not really a nice side to lean this on except for the front, because I don't want to put any weight on the bed. I have cables on this side and I have the stepper motor here, so that's a little bit scary. Come on. So just so you can see what I'm doing here, you can see I've inserted 2 screws here. Now I gotta figure out which Allen wrench thing this is. Okay. If I was gonna criticize, I would say I would like the fit internally to be a little better, just because I don't like how much that wobbles. But I feel like once it's tightened up, it's gonna be a non-issue. Although I have to say, for how small this unit is, it is really well put together. It's kind of sleek. And it doesn't look like there should be much issue with it. Okay, so that was technically step 1 and step 2. It does do a little grindy grind, which I don't love, but I can figure out what's going on there. So if you look underneath, you're not looking at standard rollers. It looks like the Z-stepper belt goes underneath and has this little arm right here that attaches. And then it slides on this pretty small track. I mean, it's narrower than my pinky. So it's not the smoothest feel, but I mean, for what it is and the price point these sit at, it's not bad. So step 3, pick this up. This is surprisingly heavy for its size. Okay, so I'm going to put in the Z-axis screw. Okay, to install the Z-axis, to install the T-screw rod, insert that. Okay. So it does not appear that this has a particular end, so. And line this up. So what I'm doing is just applying pressure to this piece, because you can see it moves, because it's like a weird spring-loaded-y thing. And it looks like this just is standing free, so that's neat. Normally, I'm used to seeing something attached to here, so that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, so literally it just says insert, and then I'm going to put a little threaded screw in each one, and yeah, that appears to be it. So people might be asking, why aren't you doing this live? Why are you doing this as a recorded video? Why? Because I've never done this before. And if I do something stupid, you won't know. Because video step 1, insert this. Step 2, put the screws in. Step 3, we put our Z-rod in. And then the last step, we just attach the power supply. Okay, so we've got it set up. We have the power supply that is now plugged into the unit on the side here. We have the actual power cable plugged into the wall. I will say, 4-foot power cable I'm not a big fan of, but hey. Now I do find it funny. Okay. This guy looks like that's supposed to go in there. Yep. Now, it looked like this came with a Bowden tube, but if you look here, you have the filament feeder and the stepper motor right here. So this looks like it's direct drive, so I mean, I'm not really sure why you would have this, but, and it looks like it's got a little 3D printed file piece here, which is interesting because you have your 3D printed piece here, but the rest of this red here is actually metal, and I'd probably say like aluminum or something like that, so that is pretty. Okay, I have to say this thing's slicker than anything. That is cool. I'm used to doing glue sticks, so to actually have a, what the hell is it? Wow, my brain is useless with words today. So let's power this thing up. See what happens. So this is pretty quiet. Now I'm not sure how well you can see this. Let's zoom in a little bit by cranking it in. So this actually appears to have a little digital touch screen. So, oh my god, that's so pretty. That is so pretty. And that is a responsive, let's see. Okay, so it looks like the top one is for our hot end. Then we have the bed, so that's actually kind of neat. And it is in Celsius, I'm pretty sure. Can we change that? I'm not sure what that is. I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay. Printing, no files found. Okay. Let's see. That is just pretty. Let's see what kind of languages we have. So it looks like it comes in Chinese, Dutch, English, and a handful of languages. No idea what RU is. Italian, it has Japanese, French, and Spanish, so that is cool. Motor off, motor on, cool. So that just looks like a continue. Okay, so if there looks like if there's no file or if it's not working on something, it just hangs and then yeah. Let's see. Fan control. So it's saying 0 fan, but that is definitely going. The body is definitely going, so I'm not sure. Okay, never mind. So that's our cooling fan. A fan for the hot end, and then there's a fan that's the cooling part thing. So that's cool. And our nozzle's actually already installed. So there is a section mark leveling, and I do like that it has a 4-point system. That is cool. 0.5 appears to be the middle. So let's just try that. That is really quiet. Now my only concern are the cables right here. Ooh, that is pretty. So you can see here, I mentioned earlier, there's a bolt that hits the Z-stop. So I can adjust that up and down along with the actual standard bed level. So I need a piece of paper. Okay. So I'm just curious. So out of the box, yeah, I do need to level this. Okay. Now I'm curious. Can I physically raise this? Does this... Nope, so our stepper motors are going to be locked. Movement. Oh, that is cool. So there's a section marked movement where I can... Yeah. So it's not a lot, but I can move this apparently like a millimeter at a time up and down. So... just for giggles, I'm going to advance this screw up a little bit, just because the head was too far down. This is just freaking awesome. And then we're going to go to that center point again. I have to say, the movement's pretty smooth. I was a little concerned with the truck on the thing. I should probably pull that off for safety's sake. Yeah, fun tip for those of you starting out 3D printing. The area around your printer should be kept clear. Okay. So, I didn't quite do that high enough. Why am I doing it this way? Because I have literally never done this before, and it's kind of cool. So I've taken the sample filament, put it on a mini roll, which I was actually kind of shocked these rollers will actually accommodate the smaller size spindle. Although this thing does not really weigh enough to do that, so you know what, that's horrifying. So apparently you do need to adjust the filament feed. I've taken the filament, and as you can see there's a tiny little hole, so that doesn't quite line up. So I'm just going to have to manually adjust that by playing with that. This is the default chip clip print. It's actually not bad. Definitely gonna need some fine tuning. You can see the top layer, if this thing will focus right, it's not bad. But if we look along the sides, it's a little fatter here. There is a little unevenness in the layering. And it did over extrude a little more compared to the top. So I think that's just dialing in because this is just the default. So just to go over the pluses and minuses of this 3D printer, the Kingroon. I'm never going to say it right anyways. For negatives, I would say one of the things I didn't like was the filament when you feed it in doesn't quite line up with the hole. I think it's just this small 3D printed piece. It's just out of alignment, which honestly I could model a new one, shift it slightly, and you know, out of box I would like that to be better, but that's an easy enough thing I can deal with on my own. I am a little creeped out that the Z-rod itself back here, that is just free floating to me. You know, I don't know what that's going to do when it gets higher, if that's going to affect anything, if it does at all. Those are the two big negative things, and the other one is I had to go back and re-level before shooting because I guess the bed kind of domes up a little bit. I'm not sure if it's just the print plate, which I didn't show in the video, but it's actually magnetic, which is pretty cool. I'm used to printing on the glass, so that's, you know, pretty neat. I will say it's kind of a butt to get lined up perfectly, but it's not bad. So those are my negatives. It's a little hard to level. It doesn't want to feed in nicely. I'm just not comfortable with that. And the power supply is loose, but you know, that's neither here nor there. That's just more of a shelf space issue. For positives, I love that the direct feed uses aluminum parts, except for this one, because I've worn out similar pieces that were plastic on other 3D printers. I love the touchscreen display. It's neat. It's set up differently than I'm used to, so like I haven't figured out if you can just disable the stepper motors, but the fact that you can actually make it advance in any way you want. So if I want to go up or side to side, I can do that, and by a millimeter at a time. So that's just neat. It does make it a little tricky leveling, but I feel like that's more I just need to learn it. I mean, it's not bad. One more negative, the fans on this thing, Jesus H. Oh my god, the fans on this thing, they are loud. The stepper motors make pretty much no noise. You don't get that normal kind of high-pitched robot noise you do with other 3D printers. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, that bit's quiet. It's just the fans are tiny, so they're pretty loud. Other than that, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid printer for the price point. For the size of the thing, it's just a good quality printer. My wife just walked by, so. And yet again, Shannon, the sponsor of this video. Special thanks to the lady who tolerates me and bought me an awesome thing for my birthday. So yeah, honestly, if you're on a budget, I would recommend. I'm probably gonna do another video at a later point after I've had a chance to play with this more. Just because you saw the first print, that's the default off it, was a little bit funny on the lower layers, but that's just really a splicer issue. So yeah, it's a good printer. Highly recommend. Thank you for your time.